I realized that I have been single for longer than I've been in a relationship for. I was single for 6 years before I met AJ, so I know a lot more about being single than I do about being in a relationship. But this is what I would say to single Molly if I could talk to her. Okay, first I'm going to put in, I've been using this dry shampoo. I wanted to get some that wasn't like bad for you. If you ever see my hair look gray up here, it's because it's like a powder and I have to like do this. And because my hair is so dark, it doesn't always blend very well. Dang it, that is very white. Dang it, no. Settle into your singleness. I had gotten broken up with my freshman year of college and I thought life was going to end. It was literally the worst thing ever for me. But I remember having this feeling that I was going to be single for a long time. And I thought that. I didn't want that to be true, but it ended up being true. Little did I know it would be 6 years. But those 6 years of singleness are going to be a sweet, amazing, crazy, wild, funny time, and it's going to lead you exactly where you need to go. So just settle in. Don't worry about how long it's going to be. Don't wonder how long it's going to be. I would just say settle into it. I don't know, like enjoy the singleness as much as you can. Just plan on being single for a while. Physical touch is actually a love language for you. I didn't figure this out for honestly until I got married, really. I knew it was up there, but I didn't know that it was like most likely my #1 love language. And I think if I was single and I knew that, I could feel less depleted if I asked for hugs from more people, if I was physically around people more, if I had heavier blankets, if, you know, I kind of was able to realize that my love tank was low because I wasn't getting like physical snuggles and physical touch all the time. I think it just would have helped me in my singleness to know that. Stop searching constantly for your husband. You will not miss him. He's not going to just drive past you and you miss the boat or anything. I wish I would have, when I was single, not search so much. I don't know why I felt like I had to just search so hard, like hide and go seek or something, like it was like a game, or like it was like my job to make sure that he found me. It is not your job. You do not need to constantly search in every bar, in every room, in every church that you go into, in every physical interaction with the guy. You don't need to search for him. He is going to find you. You will find each other. However that ends up, you will not miss it. Your husband will be different than your ex, so stop looking for him. Especially early on, I was comparing a lot of my guys that I go on dates with, or guys that were interested in me, or potential guys, to my ex and what he did or said or how he was. We obviously broke up for a reason, and like I don't want the next person that I be with or my husband to be like my ex, so why would I compare the other guys to him? It just doesn't make any sense. You are going to find something much better. Read the book of Hosea. I did not know that this book existed, honestly, and when I read it for the first time, I was blown away, and I wish I would have read it sooner. It is the most beautiful story of how radically, like, and I mean like actually radically, Jesus loves you. Once I was able to kind of grasp that more, I was able to let go of searching for my husband. If I would have realized just how much God loves me and how much he pursues me and how much he gave up everything for me, I don't think I would have. I just wish I knew it sooner. I wish I knew it sooner so I didn't put all of my focus into a guy, and I would have put it into Jesus. I think that book specifically for me, because it's a story and a love story, it makes me understand God better, and it made me understand his love better and how he is my one, like my truest love that I'll ever know. So I wish single Molly would have read that a lot sooner. Don't tie yourself so emotionally to so many guys. I did this way too much, and now that I'm married, I wish I hadn't, because while I didn't do anything physically with these guys, I have so many journal entries, so much emotional memory, future built out with these guys. It just wasn't worth it. Even if it was like the shortest like relationship or fling, or maybe they didn't even know that I was into them, I made up our whole future. I read into everything that they said to me, everything they did. I was over analyzing all of it, And I wish I hadn't, because now it led to nothing, you know, and now I just have this emotional baggage with these guys that it didn't matter. I feel like it's hard to unstick those memories. Like, all of the emotional ties are hard to unstick because it's kind of everywhere. Give your future husband to God and throw away the key. If I were talking to single Molly right now, I would tell her, literally, give it to God and forget about it. He's not going to forget about you. He knows what's on your heart. He knows, you know, what you need. Trust in God's timing. I think it just comes with trusting in God, which, you know, is a really hard thing to do. Like, it definitely takes time. Me overanalyzing everything just didn't do any good. Obviously, it's easy to say now, but I wish I wouldn't have done that. I wish I just would have saved myself the time, saved myself the stress. He is the one who actually knows what he's doing. Understand how valuable you are, and I really mean that. If I was talking to single Molly, I would tell her that you are so worth it. You're so valuable, and you don't see it right now because you think that because you aren't with a guy, or, you know, a guy doesn't want you, you know, you just don't feel like you're very valuable. But I wish I would have known just how valuable and how, like, powerful and how meaningful I am. In the Bible, it talks about you are worth more than rubies. I wish I would have just, like, actually understood what that means. That actually means that you are worth more than rubies. You're worth more than gold. You're worth more than any treasure. Like, and that really means that. I feel like if I would have known, because even with AJ, I feel like when we first started dating, I didn't realize the value that I held, and I definitely let, you know, things slide, and, like, you know, I should have stood my ground with things, or I should have communicated to him better, and not just with, like, the physical side of things, but just in general. I feel like I just didn't understand my worth, and so it was hard to date. It was hard to be single when I didn't even know or understand just how valuable I was in the dating world, that, like, a guy would be lucky to have me. Like, now when I see girls date, or if I think of myself dating, like, I'm like, why did I think so little of myself? Why did I let, you know, guys determine how I felt, or what I thought, or, like, why did I, you know, hold out so long for a guy that, like, who, you know, didn't treat me well? And I think when you don't know how much you're worth, you're just going to settle, and you're going to drag things on that don't need to be dragged on. I just wish I would have had more confidence in not my looks, not my personality, not my traits or things that I'm good at. I wish I would have had seen more of my value in the Lord. I'm finally starting to, like, just barely scratch the surface of that and, like, really have that sink in, but I wish I would have dug more deeper into it when I was single. Your standards are not too high. There are definitely times in my dating experience that I was like, are they too high? Like, am I asking for too much? And no, you are not. It is definitely worth 1,000 times over waiting for a guy who is at your standards, the things that you want, values that you have. Don't sacrifice any of that. It's not worth it. Your standards are not too high. It just means that there's not enough guys who are out there who are worth being with, and that's okay. I mean, at least you get to, like, weed them out, you know? But it definitely just means that you need to have more patience. Don't adjust or sacrifice your standards or your values for having a boyfriend right now. It's worth the wait, and your standards are not too high. Trust your gut. I dated a lot of great guys in my day. Like, truly, I mean that. I dated a lot of great guys. Each one of them, before AJ, there was this small voice, this gut feeling. It just didn't feel right. I, you know, gave it time, and I tried, you know, like, I would just say to single Molly, trust your gut. You can feel it. I just knew that some of these guys that I was dating or liked or went on dates with, just it wasn't right, and you can trust that. You can trust yourself. When it comes to dating guys, it's not going to be difficult. It's not supposed to be difficult. When it's with your person, it's going to be a lot more natural. It's going to come to you. It's not going to be difficult. It's not going to be difficult. So if it's starting to be difficult with these guys that you're dating, it's probably not right. Again, trust your gut. When I met AJ, I just remember this feeling of not will he like me or does he like me. It was this feeling of, like, foreverness. Like, I need to be around him forever. Like, I don't want to go further in life without him. Yeah, it came with, it wasn't complicated. I wasn't overthinking, or I wasn't over analyzing it as much. I feel like things just made sense with him. If it's difficult, go. Pray for your future husband, but also don't forget to pray that you're going to be the wife that he's going to want. I really wish in my singleness I would have focused more on becoming the wife that I want my future husband to have. Not that I didn't focus on it at all, but I do feel like I wish I would have worked more on that and just prayed for that. Prayed that I became the dream wife instead of just thinking about all the qualities and characteristics that my dream husband is going to have. I don't discourage that because I think that's so fun to think about, but I do wish that I would have prayed more that I would be a good wife and worked on those qualities, because I just had so much time. Like, in those 6 years I could have been at least learning to cook or something, got ahead in that. Not that being a wife is all about cooking, but I could have worked on so many other qualities, like my patience or my kindness or servanthood and like all these things. I just wish I would have prayed over and started doing that sooner. The skills that you learn in singleness will not go to waste. In those 6 years, I learned so much about trusting in God, waiting and being alone and managing my emotions and making friends. There's just so much that I'm so grateful for in my singleness that carried over into marriage, and it didn't go to waste. God didn't waste any of my time being single. I had time to work on new hobbies. I explored different things. I got to have the freedom to, change my style, change my hair. And I think it just all resulted in me being ready for marriage when I was ready. Yeah, you're going to learn skills in your singleness, and it's going to be great. You still go with you when you're married. All of your problems that you're dealing with, all the things you think like are coming with you. It doesn't change when you're married. It's not like you get like a new brain, a new body. Marriage isn't gonna fix everything, is basically what I'm trying to say. You're still going to be the same you. If I would have realized that it's not the end, like marriage isn't the end, I think I would have felt better in my singleness, because then it's not like there's a finish line. Because a lot of times in singleness, it just felt like I was running this race and waiting for the end of it. This might be the most important one to me. Get healed, but don't worry about fully healing. This might be like trigger warning. I struggled with a lot of mental health things, definitely with my eating disorder. And that was something that I realized pretty quick into dating guys, that I wouldn't be able to date guys unless I had this figured out. Dating a guy would not help. It was just going to make it worse. However, I feel like in the Christian community especially, it felt like the reason I wasn't finding my husband was because I wasn't completely healed yet. I needed to fix everything and then my husband would show up. That's just not true. I have done more healing in like the past 2 years that I've been married. I definitely wasn't completely fixed when I met AJ, or when we got engaged, or when we got married. Or I wish I could have been fully healed when I met AJ, but that just isn't how it goes. Work as hard as you can to get healed, but don't have this pressure on yourself that you're going to be completely free of any struggle that you've ever had. It's not gonna work like that. I think it just helps you find a partner that you can see who is going to help you with and through those things. I would tell single Molly, it is very important that you heal from this, that you heal from your eating disorder, but don't put so much pressure on yourself that the reason that you're not finding someone is because of these things, or that you need to be completely ready before you meet someone. You're not going to be perfect, and that's okay. And the person that you meet will love you for you, and it's going to be beautiful. Okay, I feel like I was kind of all over the place. I wish it was a blog post, honestly, because I feel like I could go in way more detail and be way more concise. I definitely have a ton more that I would tell her. I wish I could tell her that it's gonna be okay. Like, you're going to be fine. Comment below what you would tell your single self. I'd love to have a conversation below, especially for, all of you who are still single. Like, I hope this helps you, and I hope this frees you from a lot of things that just can weigh you down in singleness. Make sure to subscribe to join the laundry chat. I love having chats like this, even though I'm kind of all over the place. I would love to have you join. I try to make videos every week, So subscribe and I will see you in the next laundry chat.